All right. I do believe we are live. Move some stuff around here. All right. Good day, YouTube. Today we're going to talk about collectibles, action figures. Last week they did Hasbro PulseCon. I didn't watch any of the live streams, but I did look at some of the coverage to see what got released. And it was a little underwhelming from a Black Series, Star Wars The Black Series collecting standpoint. I think they had some GI Joe stuff and the vintage series, the smaller action figures. They got treated pretty well. But if you're into larger stuff, the Black Series, or I collect a lot of statues and larger figures, 1/6 scale figures. If you're into that kind of stuff, they didn't have as much. So the Black Series, didn't do too good. Let's look at what they did have, and then we're going to look at what they just released. I think it was yesterday. They did a live stream for Hasbro Pulse Premium subscription members. If you, I've had a premium subscription before. I don't have it anymore. It doesn't really get you anything. It doesn't get you more figures or earlier access to figures. It gives you free shipping. But a lot of times if you're getting directly from Hasbro, you'd think Hasbro you would get stuff early, but a lot of times if you're getting stuff from Hasbro, you kind of have a long wait. So it doesn't really get you much. And it also doesn't help you with some of the exclusives, which are some of the harder stuff to track down. And Hasbro makes a lot of stuff exclusive these days, so you kind of got to go hunting. So I no longer have a Hasbro Premium subscription. Don't care about the free shipping from that, but maybe they're worried about value for premium subscription members because they did this live stream for those subscription members, and they released some new figures. They could have easily done this at Hasbro PulseCon while they were doing all their other releases, but they didn't here. So let's take a look. Let's see what's coming. Let's start with Hasbro PulseCon. So this is StarWars.com. And this is their 2020 Hasbro PulseCon. And like I said, they did Transformer stuff, GI Joe stuff. Go look for that stuff if you're interested. But I mostly collect Star Wars stuff. A little bit of they're over here. A little bit of superhero stuff with mostly Daredevil. In larger scale, 6 scale figures or statues, but Star Wars, I like to get a lot of the characters, and I don't have room to do everybody in statue format, which also gets expensive, or in 6 scale figures. So I get a lot of Black Series stuff, and I like them. It's a good way, like the Mandalorian. I don't really collect Mandalorian figures in anything other than Black Series because there's a billion of them. There's a lot being made right now. There's like 3 or 4 different versions of Mando already. We'll take a look at the newest one of those that's coming up. I don't have any 6 scale figures for Mando. I don't have any statues for Mando. There's one I'm considering getting. There's a Cara Dune one from Sideshow that I consider. I kind of want to see it in real life though, because the head sculpt it's not even the head sculpt. The face is fine. The hair looks a little weird. I think it's just their photography though. But at any rate, I don't collect Mando stuff in statue form. So the Black Series is great because I can get a whole bunch of figures. I don't even display them all. Like right now, I've got Mando stuff on this shelf here because I'm waiting. This shelf is going to be for Rebels, for Clone Wars, and for Rogue One once it comes out. And I'm either not going to display the Mandalorian Black Series stuff or I'll build a different shelf for it. But Black Series is cool because it lets me get those, and they're $20-$25 a pop instead of dropping $250 for a 6 scale figure or like $500-$1,000 for a statue. Not gonna go down the Mandalorian rabbit hole for that. I like my Clone Wars stuff. So anyway, let's take a look at this. This is like a week ago, October 22nd. not even a week ago. Hasbro PulseCon 2021 HasLab Rancor and new Mando figures and more revealed. So yeah, the big reveal was this Rancor. This guy's big. If you looked at the HasLab stuff, it's kind of like Kickstarter. Excuse me. They get enough people to pre-order this, then it gets made. This guy's got like a 40-inch, maybe that's even bigger, wingspan. So yeah, he's a big boy. $300. I'm not gonna get him. Unless I had a specific project where I was gonna build a display for Rancors, like maybe under Jabba's throne or something. I know some people that are doing that. They're getting the throne for Boba Fett for the Book of Boba, and they're going to display a Rancor underneath it and build the whole Jabba's throne room with the Rancor pit underneath. That's cool. I'd love to see photos or video about the process, but I'm not going to buy one. So yeah, that was the big reveal, the HasLab for the Rancor. Here he's eating a stormtrooper. Om nom nom. But then they have these reveals. They have this new version of Mando. So they've got a few different versions of Mando now. Actually, I said 4. There might be more. There's Beskar Mando. There's in his early season 1 suit, like before he gets all his upgrades. There's that one. They pretty recently released one of him all covered in mud from when he's fighting the Mudhorn. And then I forgot there's the credit series one. Actually, I think there's also a carbonized version one. They make almost like a metallic looking carbonized figures. I don't really collect those, but they look kind of cool. And now there's this one coming up. So this guy is when he's on the ice planet after they crash, he and the frog lady. So you got yet another Grogu here. I think that's like the egg carton thing. I don't know, but he's got some snow and stuff on him. But the big thing is, they got a new creature. They got one of the ice spiders from that planet. So that's kind of cool. If you don't have a Mando, you can get one, which is pretty sweet. Or if you're a completionist and want to assemble all the card arts, you can do that. But then some of the more interesting ones, and really some of the few interesting ones from that HasCon Live or Hasbro PulseCon Live thing was Cobb Vanth. Super cool figure. Got a few problems with it. It's priced as a deluxe figure, but it doesn't really. It's neither the size nor come with enough components to kind of justify the deluxe figure price point. But he's a cool character. Timothy Oliphant is utterly badass. I'm not going to pick it up. Maybe, I don't know, if I see one at a local shop and I don't know, it's on sale or something, I might get it. But I love that this exists. And for huge fans of Cobb Vanth, grats, you've got your Black Series figure. And who knows, maybe he'll show up in Book of Boba. And we'll see more of him on screen in a month or two. 2 months, I guess. But that was there. Here he is with a helmet on. Again, cool figure. I don't think it justifies the deluxe price point, but there you have it. Boba Fett in the robes before he gets the armor back. There is toys. There is a really cool. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I just go to Sideshow. What am I doing? There's a really cool 2-pack. Go away, honey. There's a really cool 2-pack coming up in 6 scale from Hot Toys. I don't know if they have it up for pre-order yet. Oh, here it is. This, like if you wanted Boba in the robes, this is the way to do it. You just look at that head sculpt. So $500, very different price point than the $25 or whatever for the Black Series one. Go away, honey. Yeah, super cool model. Again, I'm not getting these. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not going down the rabbit hole of collecting 6 scale or statues for Mando stuff. And I don't think I'm going to pick this up in Black Series either. Boy, that's just an amazing head sculpt. Look at that. Look at that bad boy. So yeah, that exists for 6 scale collectors. So this was announced. It's pretty cool. Face sculpt is not bad for Black Series. Looks a little bug-eyed in that shot. Looked better in some of the other stuff. This guy, Mix Mayfield, Bill Burr's character, he was talked about for a while. Doesn't really look like Bill Burr to me, but it's kind of a cool figure. Some reuse of the body parts from, I think it's the Imperial tank driver. At any rate, we got him coming, and that was about it for Hasbro PulseCon, like their big annual convention, until yesterday, I believe. We got this news. I'm looking at it on Yakface. I'm sure the news came out on other sources from other people watching that live stream for premium subscription members. But this is really cool stuff. And it's stuff that I'm probably, unlike these guys, where I probably will pass on Cobb Vanth and Boba. I might get Migs. I'm not sure. If I see this guy in the store and the face sculpt looks better than it does in this photo, I might get it. He's a cool character in season 2. In season 1, the episode he was in was my least favorite of them, that prison break one. I think the costuming and the prosthetics looked kind of fake and cheesy, and the plot was a little dumb. I guess it was cool to see Mando in action, like toward the end of the episode where he just takes them all out. But anyway, not the best episode in my opinion. But in season 2, his character was really cool and had some interesting character traits and philosophies of his own that had great impact on Din Djarin's character. Right? It's not like The Mandalorian is this deep thinking, philosophical show that explores the human condition. No, it's a serialized Western essentially set in the Star Wars universe. So I don't need prophets and philosophers to be characters in the story, but Bill Burr's character was cool in season 2, and he put Mando in an interesting place with his beliefs and what he was motivated to do and drawn to do in life, and with his relationship with Grogu and stuff. So it was very cool. So I'll probably pick him up. I do wish the face looked a little more Bill Burrish, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Anyway, as opposed to those, which I might pass on, these I'll probably get all of them. So let's go over them first. We got the Jeddah Patrol Trooper. I got one of the Rogue One troopers up there. But this is the Patrol Trooper. Looks pretty clean and white. Everybody was a little more banged up and dusty in Rogue One. But still, really cool figure. And they're re-releasing all the Rogue One stuff. I don't have any of my Rogue stuff displayed right now because they had all the original Rogue One stuff was done with the old face technology. They just print way better, print and paint way better head sculpts and paint apps now. So I actually have all of the Rogue One cast coming now, and they never did make a Bodhi Rook. I'm the pilot. I'm the pilot. They never did make a Bodhi Rook figure, and they finally did. So he's coming too. So I got the whole cast and crew coming for that. I'll use the old Krennic and stuff unless they remake those as well. But so I'll probably pick this up because I love my Rogue One. I mentioned it on videos before. Rogue One is, for me, it is my favorite live action Star Wars. I love my original trilogy stuff, but it is the best in my opinion. And Disney brought that to us, so they've definitely been a mixed bag when it comes to movies. High highs and really low lows. So yeah, Jeddah Patrol Troopers coming. Omega. we're getting her, and we're getting a little like armadillo creature with her, but she's got her bow. She's got her bow that she uses through the second half of the season, and she's got her mask that she uses. Hopefully, everyone's seen Bad Batch if you're interested in that. But she's got her respirator that she uses very late in the season. I'll avoid talking about that for spoilers. And then this creature. I don't remember this creature specifically from any episodes. I guess I got to go back and watch. Maybe I'll look it up and it'll jog my memory. But yeah, Omega's coming. Definitely going to be picking this up. The face looks, I don't know. She definitely looks a little more feminine in the cartoon. She's got this kind of like heavy brow thing going, but we don't have very good pictures of her. I hope the likeness is a little closer to the cartoon, to the animated version. But it definitely pick up that figure. She'll have to go with my boys. And then we've been waiting for this figure for a long time. They've got Crosshair Hunter, Wrecker, all out, and I think Tech was released early on as well, but nothing for Echo. Nothing for Echo for the longest time. So they got the Echo figure out now. Looks amazing. Definitely going to pick that one up. And then this guy, Return of the Jedi Bib Fortuna. I don't specifically collect Return of the Jedi, or actually many at all of the original trilogy characters, but I love the Gamorrean Guard model. In fact, I've mentioned this in video before. Right now, that's kind of tied for my favorite figure of 2021. That and the Bo-Katan Kryze character, who is posed right there. Right now, she's got my Darksaber. Stole that from Moff Gideon. But I love that Gamorrean Guard figure so much. I'll probably pick up Bib Fortuna just to go with him, and I might get another Gamorrean Guard. The Black Series Gamorrean Guard comes with enough different weapons and stuff that you can swap them out, and so incredibly posable. It's a really cool figure. You would think a figure that big would be hard to pose, and it doesn't have like a lot of motion in the joints and stuff, but it's got a hinged jaw. It's got pretty good articulation for turning, not so much for bending, but for turning. And it's chunky enough and heavy enough that it stands up pretty good. So it's quite posable. So I might get two of those and stick them with Bib Fortuna. That might be a kind of cool display. So yeah, these guys all got announced. Let's read through this. It's just a real quick note from Yakface, but as if last weekend's reveals, yesterday's reveals, and today's pre-orders weren't enough, Hasbro gave Pulse Premium members an inside look at Hasbro HQ and debuted our first look at 4 new Black Series figures. Again, Jedi Patrol, Omega, Echo, and Bib Fortuna. And then no pre-orders were made available, nor data given, no date given for when they might become available. So, yeah, Hasbro mixing it up a little bit, I guess, with their announcements. And I will definitely be picking those up. Really cool that they finally showed Omega, because obviously they're going to do, she's a huge character in that show, and they had all the Bad Batch gang out. But yeah, it's a very different model. Omega's a small little model, so maybe they had to wait to finish that before they could show her off. Speaking of action figures, I pulled up Entertainment Earth. There's a lot of places you can get your figures. Big Bad Toy Store, variety of different places. I've got a bunch of stuff on order from Entertainment Earth. Just wanted to talk about dates for some of these, right? So here's the Cobb Vanth. It says coming July 2022. So you order this guy now, you get him in like 8 months. There's George Lucas. They got a Dave Filoni figure too. I don't know if they have money or... Oh yeah, here's all those Rogue One, the new Rogue One characters with the new... Bodhi Rick is entirely new. but all the Rogue One figures with a new face paint apps, except K2SO. No face update for him. But yeah, I have all those coming. But I wanted to show, these are figures I still have out on order. Right, these are all ones that have shipped. But I just wanted to show some of these dates. Like, these ones are in January, December. It's not too bad, right? December 2021. Some of these are coming, estimated date March 2022. And then if you look at this text in green, this is some updates coming April, coming June 2022. Crosshair, when did I order this? I ordered that in February of 2021. So that figure that some people have in hand already isn't going to be available until June 2022. It just kind of blew my mind. Yeah. I don't know how much of that we can say, oh, it's all the supply chain stuff. It's all the ships backed up in the ports of Los Angeles and Long Island. Some of that has to be production side. Who knows? Who knows? Before we leave action figures, I'm going to pull these guys back up. Before we leave action figures, I got a package in, again, from Entertainment Earth that we were just looking at. I don't know which one this is. Let me go back to me. Let's crack this thing open. And then I want to look at a really cool fan art video. This might be a little noisy. Apologize. Got it. Entertainment Earth packages stuff really well. Little noise here. Who do we? Oh man, yep. Speaking of Rogue One, K2SO. This guy just came in. Oh man, what do you think? Should we crack it open? Maybe I'll do. I've been meaning to do like a YouTube short. I've never really done shorts on any of my channels. Maybe I'll do a short for this. Let's open it up. What do you say? I'm going to mute for a second because the plastic on these can be pretty loud. Let's read about him real quick, though. Look, there he is. There he is. K2SO, a reprogrammed Imperial security droid, now loyal to the Alliance. K2SO is this is very small text on dark background. K2SO is an alarming site standing within a secret rebel base. This is really hard to read. This was a big mistake. The pragmatic droid is an effective insertion agent, as he can blend in perfectly at Imperial installments and outposts. He is number 3 if you're assembling the mural artwork. If you don't know, if you've never seen Black Series stuff, this new, they call it the Galaxy packaging. It goes out box by box and assembles into kind of a mural or portrait of all the characters. Very, very cool. And the color for Rogue One is this light blue. All the different properties have, you can see, like, if I go back here, you can see like the Bad Batch is this bright red color. See, Rogue One. Return of the Jedi is this kind of indoor green. But yeah. Let's get him out of the plastic. I'm going to mute just for a second. Boom. His legs so long. So when they originally released this guy, you are being rescued. Try not to resist. When they originally released this guy, there was a batch that I guess they had a mistake on. I never saw one in real life, but I saw pictures online where the eyes were red. Kind of cool, that red eye look from before reprogramming. There he is. Climb. You can still make it if you climb. Get him throwing like a thermal detonator back over his head. Anyway, love this guy. Man, I've been in some discussion with friends and stuff about who the best droid in Star Wars is, and everybody, obviously R2 has to be on the list. He's one of the most important characters in Star Wars, hands down. Period. No questions about it. And I gotta admit, I do love me some R2. Chopper from Rebels. Chopper's the man. I love me some Chopper. Toto 360. Cad Bane's a little sidekick. I think played by Seth Green every time it's been on screen. Also a very cool droid. I like Omega's droid, and the same droid that helped Fives. What? I forget the name of it, but the Kaminoan doctor droid that helped Fives out in Clone Wars, I guess season 5 or 6, when they were learning about the chip and Order 66. Love that droid. And K2SO is, for me, I think it's either Chopper or K2SO, but my top 3 would probably be K2SO, Chopper, and R2. Although, love me some droids in the Star Wars universe. Anyway, got that in the mail, so I figured we'd open it. Next thing I wanted to look at, though, let's pull this up. I got a notification on Google News. Make sure I turn the mic back on. Yeah. Got this notification on Google News about this news article. Star Wars fan short features shockingly realistic animation. I was like, oh, I got to check that out. So this is from today, from Matthew Hart at Yahoo Life. It says, there's nothing like a good Star Wars fan film to satiate or whet the appetite for an adventure in the galaxy far, far away. A new short film from a production company in Australia may somehow do both, as it packs some serious animation into a 2-minute clip. This video's visual effects are so stunning. In fact, it's easy to imagine mistaking the footage for real actors working on a real set. Excuse me, at least for parts of it anyway. The Australian production company Wireframe Cinematics recently posted the short film to the YouTube channel Frostbite Cinematics. As the creators note, this was the company's first attempt at a short film, and they made it as an entry into the Cinematic Captures fan film competition. Have no idea what that competition's all about, but if this is any indication of the caliber of entry, probably some really cool stuff. Sorry. All that packaging from K2SO was under my foot. Frostbite Cinematics. In the short Against All Odds, a Star Wars animated short film, drops viewers into the middle of a blaster fight between clone stormtroopers. They're not clone stormtroopers. Oh, Yahoo. They're clone troopers and battle droids. We then watch. Well, before I talk about it, let's watch it. They're going to give away the whole plot. I pulled it up on the YouTube channel. Definitely give this a look. I'll put the link in as well. But let's just look at this. I credited them and put the link in the description notes, and they're up here. So hopefully it's okay for me to show this. If not, I'll get a nasty gram and be told to take it down. But check this out. Oh, let me make me tiny. Yeah, look at this. It's just amazing. That's animation. Really great work on the droids. You can see a little bit with the way some of their heads move. But like, look at that. That looks like it could be actors in prop armor on a set. Boom. Looks like Phase 1 troopers. Phase 2 helmets. That's a cool ship. Vulture droid. Boom. Here comes the cavalry. Gunship. That's what, if we have a HasLab, that's what we need to have made. So that looked a little more animated. At these guys coming in. It just kind of like stops. And then boom. Clone commandos. There we got it. Yeah, so definitely check this out. Give it a like. I'll subscribe to them too. That was really, really cool. And here's the credits. We'll pause that. Leave the credits up. Super cool work. Your mileage may vary on whether or not you like fan films. I think they're cool. There's been some longer ones. Sometimes the pacing can be a little slow. But that was really, really cool. I have no idea what that competition's like, but I hope they do well. Anyway, this article came up, and I clicked on that link and watched the 2-minute video, and I'm glad I did. So the short Against All Odds, a Star Wars animated short film, drops viewers into the middle of a blaster fight between clones and droids. We then watch as our protagonist, one of the stormtroopers, one of the clone troopers, sees his buddies dial around him, coming right to the fine edge between life and death himself. That is, just before his other buddies come and rescue him in a Republic gunship. The gunship would be a sweet HasLab model. Hasbro, if you ever managed to see this, just a hint, that would be funded instantly. It would also be big. Although the story is brief and simple, the visuals are jaw-dropping. I would agree with that. That was impressive stuff. The creators noted they sourced most of the short's models, textures, and animators from Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That's cool. The whole thing was put together using Unreal Engine, a game engine software framework developed by Epic Games. For those who enjoyed the short, we highly recommend checking out the original wireframe animation on which it's based. I haven't watched that. The short above is an alternate rendering of Against All Odds. It has extra scenes. Speaking of which, who's hungry for more Star Wars now? I haven't watched this. Maybe we should watch this. What do you think? Should we go full screen? Well, that's no good. What about watching it here? No, weird. All right. Well, that's too bad. Maybe I'll try to pull that up on my phone or something, or maybe they took it down. Very strange. Anyway, I saw that and wanted to share it because I thought it was absolutely amazing. Very, very cool. So the last thing I wanted to talk about today was this article. So while I was on Yahoo News, I saw this. I went there to see that Star Wars video, and then I saw this thing. K2SO, you are going to go right over here. Say bye K2SO. Sorry, that was probably loud. Yeah, I saw this and pulled it up. Avengers Endgame producer says Marvel Studios was worried that a scene with all female superheroes would be considered pandering. Let's see what they have to say about this. There they are. I think we all remember this scene from Endgame. Playing Keep Away from Thanos. A producer of Avengers Endgame said that the female heroes scene was almost removed. Tran said in the story of Marvel Studios that there was a worry the scene would be pandering. I put that in quotes. They were very specific about the word pandering, so we'll look at that. She explained that the scenes were added to make the gathering of MCU's. She explained that scenes, so new scenes, were added to make the gathering of MCU's female heroes seem more natural. Okay. A producer for Avengers Endgame revealed she had to fight to keep a scene in the movie which all the female heroes team up together because Marvel Studios was worried it might come across as pandering. In the story of Marvel Studios, the making of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, producer Tran, I hope I'm saying that name right, explained that there were always plans to really showcase and empower the women, in quotes, in Endgame, but test audiences were not too keen on the first version of the scene. This is Tran saying, when we started screen testing it, there was little concern for, let me try to start that again. So Tran says, when we started screen testing it, there was a little concern for, does it come off as pandering? Are we going to get people saying, oh, you're just putting that scene in there to put the scene in there? Does it actually have a story to tell with the rest of the narrative? Tran said in the behind the scenes book written by Tara Bennett and Paul Terry. I've not seen this book, but this article's apparently referencing stuff that was written in there. That was always a concern in the back of our heads, she continued. However, Tran said that she was adamant about the scene making it into the movie, so they took additional shots of the female heroes in smaller groups to make the larger gathering scene more natural. In the final cut of the 2019 blockbuster movie, the majority of the female heroes, including Okoye, Wasp, Valkyrie, Scarlet Witch, Pepper Potts, and Mantis, can be seen gathering together during the Battle of Earth to help Captain Marvel get the Iron Gauntlet away from Thanos. The shot appeared to be a callback to a similar scene in Avengers Infinity War, where Okoye, Scarlet Witch, and Black Widow fought together against Thanos' army. I never got that when I was watching Endgame. Like, they did some work to set up the all-female scene, like that girl power moment, but I didn't at all really see it as a callback to the scene in Infinity War. It was a cool scene where they show up and help Scarlet Witch in that fight. But I'm thinking back about them now, and I still don't really see that as reminiscent. I mean, yes, there are both scenes in a Marvel movie which is predominantly only women, but I don't necessarily see them as a callback to each other. But okay, the writers of this article think maybe they are. However, fans and critics still argued that the scene ultimately felt hollow because some of the women were not given any lines in the movie, and there had only been one woman-led movie in the first 22 MCU movies. Yeah, that's true, and there's legitimate criticism there because Scarlet Witch should have had one a long time ago. Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow should have. Well, they could have made a Scarlet Witch one much earlier than that too, instead of waiting for the Disney Plus show. But Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow definitely should have had one quite a while ago. The other problem is the other women-led movie, Captain Marvel, wasn't particularly good movie. It's kind of a dumb plot, and it was propped up by being between two fantastically anticipated movies. Infinity War specifically was really, really very good. But yeah, Captain Marvel did a lot of really dumb stuff, including making Nick Fury kind of a joke, devaluing that amazing line he had. In my opinion, maybe the greatest line he's ever delivered, one of the best lines in all of the MCU. Last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye. Made a joke out of that. I don't know. Maybe it was they were so high on how well the humor of Ragnarok went over that they felt they needed to make everything into a joke. That's what heroes do. Like, it worked so well in Thor, but oh man, that movie. I'm sure Mahler has done a deconstruction of that movie, and if you want to learn about all the ways in which that movie failed, go watch his stuff. Mahler is the bomb. But yeah, because some of the women were not given any lines in the movie, and there had only been one woman-led movie in the first 22 MCU movies. Many revelations about the creation of Endgame have come out of the story of Marvel Studios since it was released on October 19th, so just very recently. Co-director Joe Russo said Marvel boss Kevin Feige initially wanted to kill all of the original 6 Avengers in the film. The Russo brothers also revealed that Robert Downey Jr. cried after hearing the fate of Tony Stark. Okay, so that's it about the girl power moment. But yeah, what caught my attention was this focus on the word pandering, right? So they have it in the title. They put it in single quotes, and they have it in quotes wherever they use it in the article here. And so it caught my attention. So I read the really short article, and it got me thinking, like, was it pandering? It's a legitimate question. Is that, if it was, is that bad? So let's look at a couple definitions first. So I think we can all agree that by pandering, well, let's look at the definitions first. So pandering, what does that mean? So this is dictionary.com. Your definitions may vary, but pandering. As a noun, the act of catering to or profiting from the weakness, vices, or unreasonable desires of others. And then it goes on to talk about oftentimes has a sexual connotation. There's some pretty overtly sexual uses of the word pander, right? But catering to or profiting from the weakness, vices, or unreasonable desires of others. I'm going to pull up some, I don't know if they're direct synonyms of pandering. Let's talk about pandering for a second, though. Was Marvel attempting to, and if we look at this definition, the act of catering to or profiting from the weakness, vices, no, or unreasonable desires of others. Probably the critics of that scene would use the last clause of that definition, the unreasonable desires of others. Are there people out there who have an unreasonable desire or need to see all women in a Marvel scene, in a Marvel movie? Was Disney, was Marvel Studios pandering in that way? Well, we're not in their heads, right? We'll probably never know that. But let's assume they were. Is that bad? Well, it kind of depends on how it goes, right? If here, let me make me a little bigger again. If they pander poorly, and it's a really heavy-handed attempt to get an audience that otherwise wouldn't be interested in their movie or their product or their merchandise to be interested in it, and it utterly fails because it not only does it not attract that audience, but it drives away another audience. Yeah, that's probably not something you would want. Right? There's that comes at a financial detriment to the company. That's ultimately like the reason they're trying to make a good movie and tell a good story is they want people to enjoy it. They want them to, purchase tickets to see the film in the theater, buy the Blu-rays, buy the 4Ks, sign up for Disney Plus to watch it again on the streaming service, buy the toys, buy pillowcases and underoos for their kiddos, right? So in that sense, if they're pandering and they do it poorly and it hurts them, yeah, it's probably not a good thing. But if they're pandering to an audience, right, that otherwise might not enjoy the movie or might not go to the movie, and what they do is they actually entice that that section of the market to come that otherwise wouldn't, that's probably a good business move for them. Is it a good storytelling move? Maybe, maybe not. Again, it probably depends on the writing, but is it pandering in that case? So I just pulled up a couple other words. Here's the word courting. The act or process of trying to win the favor or attention of a person or group. Right? I think a far more charitable version of what Marvel Studios was trying to do was court an audience that would find an all-female scene appealing. Again, does it make the scene any good? Almost not even part of the conversation. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. And I think that's an interesting conversation, and I would love to have that with people. But as far as that scene and its creation and its inclusion in the movie, and judging by what that producer said, focus on keeping the integrity of that moment there by filming new scenes to better set it up so it's more positively received by the audience. They were clearly and objectively, purposefully in the act or process of trying to win the favor or attention of a person or a group. Would you call that pandering, the act of catering to or profiting from the weakness, vices, or unreasonable desires of others? I would say that is maybe the least charitable description or word you could choose to define that attempt. Let's look at this one. Appealing to, right? To appeal. An earnest request for aid, support, sympathy, mercy, etc. To entreat, to petition, to plea. Right? I don't think they were pleading for an audience with that scene. But I would say that it was probably better described as an earnest request for support, right? From an audience who may be interested in seeing, that girl power moment in the movie. A request or reference to some person or authority for a decision. So this is more like the legal definition of appeals. And I just picked a couple words that kind of I thought were synonymous, right? Or at least tangentially related to the word pandering. I think an article like this, where did I put the article? Here it is. They probably use the word pandering because you get a subsection of the audience who's for them, their experience of the movie was hurt because there is this ham-fisted effort to cut all the men out of an important scene and have only the women take over and save the day or whatever. And you're kind of you're baiting a response from that audience by using the word pandering. And just to go over the definition of pandering again, the act of catering to or profiteering from the weakness, vices, unreasonable desires of others. The rest of that definition is the act or practice of furnishing clients for a prostitute or supplying persons for illicit sexual intercourse. So there's like a carnal component to pandering. So I think in this article, they're specifically using that language to kind of engender a little bit of outrage, and maybe that's to get them clicks. Again, the debate on whether or not that's a good scene, whether or not that's good screenwriting, whether or not that contributes to the story or takes away from it, whether or not the fact that some of those characters didn't even have lines in the movie, so maybe they shouldn't have been there. I think all of those are interesting nerd discussions to have, and I would love to have them. But as far as portraying the inclusion of that scene and the work they did to try to set that scene up to make it not seem off-putting to their screen test audiences, to say that that's pandering, I think is kind of inflammatory language on the part of this article to get a rise out of people, and ultimately maybe detracts from what Disney, Marvel Studios as a commercial entity is trying to do with their movie, and make it appeal to as many people as possible. And they have to go through the calculus here is the inclusion of the scene going to get us more viewers than it costs us? And they'll try to get that math right. Anyway, I was reading about Star Wars stuff when I saw that headline. I was like, interesting. So I clicked on it. And yeah, I guess if you're really interested in this kind of stuff, Tran has the story of Marvel Studios. Let's open this up. There it is on Amazon. You can check it out there. Check it out and learn more about how Marvel made the movies they made and why they made the decisions they made. And you can answer for yourself if you think that's pandering. The answer might be yes. I don't know. I'm not in their heads. I will say, let's go back to Omega. Omega, where you at? Got to get me out of the way. I will say that I think Avengers Infinity War was a way better movie than Endgame. Endgame, the time travel thing was fine. Like, they set it up. We all knew where they were going with it, and they did okay with it. And then there was a big CGI fest at the end, bright flashing lights, and all your favorite characters showing up, whether you wanted to see them or not. Endgame was an ambitious attempt to do something that no movie's really ever done, to wrap up what was it, 21 or something movies at the time, that had spanned over a decade of time. Way to go, Russo brothers. What a mammoth undertaking. And they did pretty good. I think Avengers Infinity War was a really well-made movie. Right? It was engaging, it was dramatic, it was impactful. Endgame was more of a don't think about it too hard, don't ask too many questions, just go along for the ride, and had some real, hitch in the feels moments right there at the end. But was it a great movie? No. I think it was a necessary conclusion to an amazing run for Marvel. And judging by what they've done since, I think they have no idea where to go now, or maybe they have an idea of where they want to go, but they know they can't have the emotional impact or the cinematic impact that they had at the end of that arc without giving people a breather. So they're giving us some like kind of brain candy filler stuff. The Disney Plus shows and the 2 movies that have been out so far, and Eternals, which I guess is out this weekend, to kind of poor reviews. I'm not sure those get there. So, at any rate, that's what I got for today. I hope you are doing well wherever you're at in life, and bye.